Wow. Good morning. Good morning. Do I have a live mic? I do. Okay, I'm so glad to hear it. I'm Barbara Hove. I happen to be serving very briefly as your transitional support minister. I'm trying not to make it sound like an undergarment. We're so glad that you're here in person, and those of you on Zoom, wherever you are, hello, hello. And yes, I am the Reverend Barbara Wells Hove, and this morning I'm delighted to be supporting Su Livingston, who is the primary leader of this service. Now, as we've done all summer, we have an excellent children's program upstairs, and children over the age of 2 are welcome to join our marvelous teen workers up there, and there's also a wiggle room in the back of the sanctuary where little ones can play while their parents listen to the service, which might be a little moment to suggest listening. There we go. So I hope you'll take a look at the announcements in your order of service. I want to particularly draw your attention to this lovely yellow thing that says, "You can help." Please read that and help. And I also want to note that this coming Saturday, August 23rd, from 2 to 4 p.m., there is going to be an ice cream social here at Buff. Yay! You can enjoy a sundae or a dairy-free treat, visit with friends old and new, under canopies on the patio. So if it's raining or too sunny, you're good. And of course, all ages are encouraged and welcomed. And now I'd like to invite Drew Betts, who is heading up our October auction, to come and tell us a little bit more about it.
Thank you, Barbara. Y'all hear me? Yay, good morning. So, auction items are starting to roll in, and the catalog is looking more and more inviting by the day. But we still need more because it is it's our, next to our stewardship campaign, it's the biggest fundraiser that this church has. And so I came to just encourage you to go to places that you love and ask for a donation, give a service, give a party. Somebody asked me about how much they should charge for a 4-course dinner today, and I gave my advice. So we're happy to give advice. And I'm just going to show you an example of something I got for a donation, and that is worth $100 a package of a free annual membership to the Pickford, 2 free passes, and 2 free popcorns. I am a popcorn slinger at the Pickford these days. Some of you who come for the Thursday mornings will see me doing popcorn because I'm a volunteer, and they immediately said yes to us, as did Holly's Meat Pies say yes to me. So, people need to be asked, and they often say yes. So think about things you like to do, places you like to visit. We love soups. We love people that make things for us. Please donate. We'd like to have our catalog wrapped up by the first week in September. And tickets you can get them on sale now, but we're really going to have a push for tickets October 4th. Full Moon Festival, we're calling it this year. And we'll have a Chinese food catered dinner. Yummy. Thanks.
Yay, and thank you, Drew, and all the other hard workers on our church auction. That's great. So I hope all of you will join us for coffee and conversation following the service in the fellowship hall, which is downstairs. Those of you on Zoom can hang around and talk to each other after the service as well. All of this is a great way that we get to meet people and build community. And we encourage people to also turn off their phones, because we would only like to hear bells when we mean those bells to ring. So now please settle in for worship by listening to our musicians sing this morning's beautiful prelude, "A Place for You" by Melanie Reick.
Spirit made a place for you where everything is new. Spirit made a place for you where everything is new.
Love has made a place for you where everything is new.
Love has made a place for you where everything is new.
Grace has made a place for you where everything is new.
Grace has made a place for you where everything is new. Spirit made a place for you where everything is new. Spirit made a place for you where everything is new.
Hi, I'm Su Livingston. Today's service rose from the weeds. I mean literal weeds in my garden. I was digging out thistles and buttercups thinking, yeah, I'm almost done here. When I looked ahead and saw more thistles and buttercups stretching to the horizon line and seemingly into infinity. And that's when I realized, oh, I'm not by will alone going to get her done here. I need to create a rhythm to weed one area, then the next, and the next, and then revisit each area as the weeds begin to grow back. Well, that got me thinking about other rhythms in my life that evolve through returning and returning again, and how each revisit builds upon the last and also can reveal entirely new insights. Carrie and Judith expressed this so powerfully a couple of weeks back when they re-explored a story they had written together in their 30s through their now 60-year-old selves, and how much they gleaned from looking back together. To the soul, the past is alive and fertile ground, as is the present and future. Today, I'd like to honor the rhythms that we spiral back to again and again in deepening relationships, the rhythms that root us in what we hold true. And now, please rise as you're willing or able to sing hymn 298. 298, Wake Now My Senses.
As Sue mentioned, a couple of Sundays ago, Carrie and her friend Judith told a story about trees. At the end of Carrie's reflections on what the story of the grandmother tree had taught her, she said, "One thing that interested me was something I learned from trees, that each new season is an opportunity to shed what is no longer bearing fruit, to make room for growth and possibility." As I listened, I said a silent yes into the room and reflected to myself that we are indeed in a time of turning. Lots of things are changing all around us, in our gardens, in our personal lives, in our church, in our nation and world. And we have options as to how we might respond. We can resist the change and keep trying to turn back to what we had before, or we can get into a rhythm with the change and turn toward the new with commitment, joy, and hope. Over the next few Sundays, the overarching theme of each service will be turning. And so today, I dedicate the lighting of our flaming chalice, which is the symbol of our faith, to the rhythm of the dance that turns us toward each other as we grow and change. And please join me in reciting our covenant, which you can find in your order of service. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service gives it life. Celebrating our diversity and joined by a quest for truth, we work for peace and honor all creation. This is our covenant.
And now I'd like to make a rhythm with all the children and big people in the room. Can we make a rhythm by clapping our lap? And then our hands 2 times. Let's do it a few times. Clap, clap. Lap, clap, clap. Lap, clap. Good. Lap, clap. We've been waiting for you to come to this place. Been waiting for you to come to this place. Wherever you're from, we're glad that you've come. We've been waiting for you to come to this place. If you're feeling shy, we've been waiting for you. If you're feeling wiggly, we've been waiting for you. Wherever you're from, we're glad that you've come. We've been waiting for you to come to this place. Your whole selves are welcome. We've been waiting for you. Your whole selves are welcome. We've been waiting for you. Wherever you're from, we're glad that you've come. We've been waiting for you to come to this place. Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue, for having such fun with our kids. And now it's time for the young people to find their way up to their classrooms with Lucy and others. So we're going to sing a special song, and here it is. We hold you in our love as you go. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious light.
cyclical than our need for food. Without food, in a state of hunger and scarcity, everything else in life changes. I began volunteering at the Bellingham Food Bank 6 years ago. It exemplifies a community open to change and open to changing the way it works to truly meet the needs of those they provide for. I'm sure one of the reasons I find it to be a joyful place is the staff's sensitivity to working in rhythm with one another, with their volunteers that number over 550 a year, and with all the people that depend upon them. Through food and beyond food, the dedication of the food bank staffers who return day after day to treat everyone who walks through their doors with dignity and kindness is truly inspiring. I'm so proud to introduce Stephanie Sisson, Communications and Outreach Coordinator of the Bellingham Food Bank.
All right. Thank you all so much for being here today, and thank you for this opportunity and all of the support that Buff has given the community for so long. Thank you for all of the support that the Bellingham that you have given the Bellingham community for so long. One thing I mentioned last time that I was here is that the Bellingham Food Bank actually originated with this church. So that was back in the 70s, and look at where we are today. And I really wanted to thank Sue again for the topic, because as she so eloquently stated, food is a part of the rhythm of life. And it's a part of your circadian rhythm, and it's a part of intergenerational rhythm. It's a part of community rhythm. So I kind of want to touch on all these things. Also, personally, I have taken up drumming in my life. So I want to kind of tell a parallel story of the importance of rhythm in my life personally, both through drumming and through food security. So to start, I grew up in food security. I grew up not knowing where my next meal would be from, and that was truly an intergenerational thing for my family. I remember when I went to college and I saw my roommate cooking, and he had a kitchen knife. It was the first time I had ever seen a kitchen knife in a kitchen, because we did not cook with fresh vegetables, and we did not cook with fresh meat, and we had no use for a kitchen knife. And I didn't know what it was or why he was using it. I was like, that's like for professional chefs. Don't you think it's overkill? And he was like, you've never used a kitchen knife. So he helped me. He was like, let me show you where to go to get to the food bank. So I got to the food bank, and they had vegetables. They had meat. They had things that I didn't know how to cook. And then he taught me recipes that his mom taught him, that my mom couldn't teach me because her mom couldn't teach her. When I went back to my mom's house, I was like, okay, yeah, there was no kitchen knife. And I went back to my grandma's house, and I'm like, oh, look, there's no kitchen knife. I found out that my grandmother's mother grew up in a chicken coop that had been repurposed into a shack. And so I don't think that this little bit of knowledge ever got transferred all the way down until me in college in like 2015, 2014. So yeah, it's very intergenerational. And also psychologically, I found that when I was growing up, I had to be an adult at a very, very young age. I would say around the age of 7, I had this intense drive to make money. So I sold things on the playground. I resold stickers and popsicles and candy, and I would steal these and sell them and then save the money. I was very excited when I made my first $20 because then I could buy a loaf of bread. So that really creates a split in your brain where the young child in you doesn't get to grow up, and you are basically a kid inside for a very long, long time. And on the outside, when I was in college and I was talking to my roommate, I was doing research. I was actually investing in stocks from a young age. I was like really outwardly successful, but inside I was still this child that didn't know how to cook with a kitchen knife. And so to bring it to drumming, I started drumming when my husband bought me a kit after listening to me talk and daydream about the importance of maybe going out and playing music one day. He was like, just do it. And I sat there in fear because I couldn't make the sound that I wanted to create. I couldn't jump into that rhythm. So through drumming, I really learned how to take that little kid inside of me, and take that action and put it into real life, the dreams into real life. And when I think about the food bank, that's what I think about my experience there. It allowed me to take all these tiny little things over time, every single little meal that I got, every single helping hand, every single smile, and turn that back into something that I could actualize in my own personal life and build upon and let that little girl grow up. And the food bank does this for 5,000 families every single week on a scale that is almost incomprehensible. And I know I am well over time now, but I really want you all to know and to not forget the impact of your donation, and the impact of your care on our community, because a lot of times this gets lost when we talk about the numbers of our work, because you cannot see the individual that is benefiting on such a deep and personal level. So thank you all so much. And I just also want to invite you to the Pickford on September 6th. If you want to know a little bit more about our work, there is a film being featured there about us. So I really recommend you go. It would be really cool. And I'll be speaking there as well. So thank you. Sorry.
No, that was perfect. I didn't want to miss one second. Okay.
It's here where our pieces fall in place. Any rain softly kisses us on the face. Anywhere means we're running. We can sleep and see him coming. Where we drift and call it dreaming. We can weep and call it singing. Where we pray when our hearts are strong enough. We can bow 'cause our music's warmer than blood. Where we see enough to follow, we can hear when we are hollow. Where we keep the light we're given, we can lose and call it living. Where the sun isn't only sinking fast. Every night knows how long it's supposed to last. where the time of our lives is all we have, and we get a chance to say before we ease away, for all the love you've left behind, you can have mine. Fall in place. We can fear, 'cause the feeling's fine to betray. Where water isn't hidden, we can burn and be forgiven. Where our hands hurt from healing, we can laugh without a reason. 'Cause the sun isn't only sinking fast. Every moon in our bodies makes shining glass. The time of our lives is all we have, and we get a chance to say before we ease away, for all the love you've left behind, you can have mine. Thank you for that. Oh, yeah. Wow, I get to follow that. The natural world and lives attuned to nature move in rhythms and repeated patterns. Day into night, seasons, tides, growth cycles, migrations. The turning and returning to experience is a spiral journey, and never the same twice. The weather, the world, and ourselves are never the same twice. We bring new experience and wisdom to each moment. The Quaker author, educator Parker Palmer holds that
if we live close to nature in an agrarian society, the seasons as a metaphor would continually frame our lives. But the master metaphor of our era does not come from agriculture. It comes from manufacturing. We do not believe that we grow our lives. We believe that we make them. Just listen to how we use the word in everyday speech. We make time. We make friends, make meaning, make money, make a living, make love. It almost conjures the image of a great conveyor belt. Make it, move it, next goal.
Consumer culture is always driving the idea that we can evolve by following novelty and change with no limits. Just buy this trip, that car, these shoes. It only takes one click for instant gratification that makes the brand new thing feel like forward momentum for a minute. Because these ideas influence us to, well, consume life as if it were a stream of one-offs. Check off places to go, read this book, see that movie, never look back, and hurry towards the next new experience, fueled by a fear of missing out. In a world streaming novelty and news, We are conditioned to look to the new more than to revisit meaningful past experience. It's a way of life that makes for good consumers, busily checking off our bucket lists, and a way of life that can make for hungry souls. Because the past is alive and fertile ground, as is the present and future. How many times have I thought, oh, I already know that, been there, done that, check. And yet, what I find when I do choose to revisit the experience, a beloved story or place that I loved so much the first time, is that I am ever surprised. I'm surprised by the difference between what I thought I knew and all I had forgotten or missed before, or that means something entirely new to me now. As we are always changing in a world that is always changing, each time we return to the familiar, there's the possibility of drawing new depths from it, for insights we never saw before. In fact, learning relies upon returning. It's often said that adults have childhood amnesia. Can any of us remember how much time and practice we needed to scribble with paper and crayons before we could draw a shape that anyone else could recognize? In fact, there are 20 different scribbles we needed to learn to make. The first one is a dot, and then a vertical line, and then a horizontal line, then a diagonal, and then come the round ones, and all the shapes that are found in the alphabet. There's 20 scribbles. Before, as a toddler, we could scrawl an uneven circle. And what do all artists and inventors do but follow an impulse, play with an idea through every variation they can discover, again and again, until inspiration is revealed? Learning relies on returning. So I invite you to think for a moment about something you love to do and do really well. It may be something that's creative, or physical, spiritual, emotional, or intellectual. This something that you love to do. Now, journey back and remember, how did you learn to do it? How did it all begin? What nurtured your progress? Relax into memories of your own learning process for a moment of quiet.
Return again, return again, return to the home of your soul. Return again,
Not long ago, I sat down to write a letter to an old friend whom I correspond with. My pen hung in the air as I thought, well, I don't have much to say. Everything's been pretty much the same. So I opened up my diary and started flipping back pages to refresh my memory. What have I been doing? There were no trips or splashy events, just living into my life. And I was amazed as I read back by how engaging and abundant those ordinary days were. In my senses, relationships, thoughts, rhythms of work and play. So I wonder, if I hadn't reflected back on them, would I have noticed how all those ordinary moments coalesced into extraordinary life? I think this kind of water flows under the bridge more often than not, the extraordinary, ordinary. Those reoccurring common moments of our lives form the drum beats, the rhythms that steady us. They can give us a foundation that wards off the interruptive freneticism pinging from the phone that is so nanosecond oriented. Rhythms can anchor us when the world feels upsetting and confusing, as it certainly does now. Sometimes those actions we repeat over and over again can come to feel like the maintenance of life. Though one could also say, with a slight shift of perspective, that attending the maintenance, the work that needs doing, is actually care, taking care and bringing care to whom and what we love in our lives. I was a preschool teacher that learned with 4-year-olds for 17 years. That is a lot of shoes to tie, noses to wipe, and blocks to help stack back on the shelves on my knees. It was only with the guidance of wiser mentors that I grew to understand that all those acts that felt like constant maintenance were more than tasks to their own end. They were expressions of mindfulness and care. The Zen koan before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water, implies that a meaningful life isn't in the tasks themselves, but in the state of mind from which they're performed. With the possibility that even in the most ordinary work, there is an opportunity for transformation. It's said that to find the extraordinary in the ordinary, you have to see it. And to see it, you have to look for it. And it may take looking again and again.
Good morning. I'm Carrie Kenline, and I've been a member of this congregation for about 30 years, which is sort of startling. So this is a place that I come back to again and again and again. I've learned that while a single visit to a community like this can be a real gift and a treasure, that there are many gifts that are only revealed over time through sustainable rhythms of returning and returning. It is those sustainable rhythms that build a deep-rooted community, and it is a willingness to learn and change and grow and welcome in new people that makes it the living, breathing organism it's meant to be. So if you're here for the first time, we're really glad. Anyway, I wrote a song about all that, and it's called Repeat. Some of you have heard it before, and Sue and Barbara are going to help me sing it. but you're very welcome to join in on the chorus if you start to catch on. And I'll read you the words. Repeat, repeat. It comes around and around again like a chorus waiting for us. Let's sing it once again. Repeat, repeat. Let's come back every time we can. It's so sweet, this invitation to repeat it all again. Repeat,
Repeat, it comes around and around again like a chorus waiting for us. Let's sing it once again. Repeat, repeat, let's come back every time we can. It's so sweet, this invitation to repeat it all again.
my friends, how I love to see your faces, hear your voices. It's a tonic for my soul. I feel more whole when I'm around you. Our lives are full of change, and they're always rearranging. I know we are changing too. And you're still you.
Repeat, repeat, it comes around and around again like a chorus waiting for us. Let's sing it once again. Repeat, repeat, let's come back every time we can. It's so sweet, this invitation to repeat it all again. And you who are new, there's a place for you beside us. Come sit here, we'll hold you dear, and share the love that is inside us. When we're gathered here, and we're singing all together,
There's no old and there's no new,
and I'm still me.
and you're still you.
Repeat, repeat, it comes around and around again like a chorus waiting for us. Let's sing it once again. Repeat, repeat, let's come back every time we can. It's so sweet, this invitation to repeat it all again. When it's time to say goodbye, time to go where we are called to,
There may be
some complications in the verses of our lives.
but we can
Share this love and return over and over.
We'll be old and we'll be new.
And I'll still be me.
You'll still be you.
Repeat, repeat, it comes around and around again like a chorus waiting for us. Let's sing it once again. Repeat, repeat, let's come back every time we can. It's so sweet, this invitation to repeat it all again. Repeat, repeat, it comes around and around again like a chorus waiting for us. Let's repeat it all again. Repeat, repeat, let's come back every time we can. It's so sweet, this invitation to repeat it all again. Repeat, repeat, repeat.
Stick-to-itiveness, or being consistent, is also underrated. It's not a shiny new thing, but is an essential piece of deepening any intention. That doesn't mean we know what we're going to get for showing up. Sometimes to keep returning to a commitment when we don't know what will transpire or if anything will come of it is an act of faith. And sometimes we move forward on the power of consistency alone. So I invite you, as we listen to Melanie and Beth play this beautiful piece by Schubert called Moment Musical, to ask yourself, is there something you would love to return to check in with? An unfinished conversation or experience with a loved one? Or maybe something you haven't done for a long time? An idea that got set down and not picked up that you yearn to revisit? And imagine making a commitment, maybe just for today, to return again, to repeat, and find a new yet familiar rhythm to sustain you in the days ahead.
Yeah, you use this one.
And Melanie. We never know the ripple effects of our actions or when intention may collide with inspiration. We can show up for what matters, one step at a time, and live into the rhythms of our past, present, and future that sustain body and soul. As Barbara extinguishes our flaming chalice, please rise. We have a special way of closing here at Buff. We make large circle and sing together, Circle Round, hymn 155.